Hello, MPL fans and fans all around the world. I'm BulkyCottonCandy, one of your analysts for the Season 2 of the MPL, and I'm here to interview the coach of the San Francisco 49Tales, Byser.
That's me. Hey guys, Byser here. So I am the coach of the San Francisco 49Tales. So we are ready to pump and ready to go for our Season 2.
So, Byser, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Why don't you tell us how old you are, what got you into Pokemon, and what got you into competitive battling?
I'm 23 years old, and I got into Pokemon back when I was a wee little lad, because I played Generation 1. So I played it when it first came out, played good old blue version. So I've just been playing Pokemon pretty much my entire life, so that's pretty cool. And so we got into YouTube, and just because I liked playing video games, so I figured why not record myself playing said video games just to post them online for other people to enjoy if they want to.
And what got you into competitive battling?
Competitive battling was I never really got into competitive battling much with other generations. It really started with Generation 6. And then it was kind of watching other Poketubers like Shofu and Shady Penguin and stuff like that. And so watching them and seeing what, all the thought process and all that kind of things that actually goes into competitive battling, and it's not just, as simple as pick a move and have your Charizard just run 4 fire type moves. You actually have to have some thought process behind it, and so I kind of wanted to get into that and see how it works.
Alright, well, let's take a look at your draft, and I've been doing I don't know when this interview is going up. I'm not sure exactly what the upload order is. Just breaking the fourth wall real quick. So
You're not supposed to do that.
I don't care. This is what I'm doing with every coach, is I'm having them walk us through the thought process of their draft. So, Byser, why don't you tell us, what was your thought process drafting Mega Charizard X, Gengar, and Caesar?
Well, first of all, my thought process was I have the shittiest picks in the entire league. So there's that. So pretty much the first round, I had no plan going into the draft of like a core. Some people were saying like, I wanted to draft this mon, and this mon because I wanted to make this core. I didn't really have a plan going into that because my picks were like all the way towards the end. I had the 16th pick in the first round, the 14th pick in the second round, the 15th pick in the third round is just pretty bad. So I kind of had to basically go with whatever was available at the time and kind of start building from that. So at the end of the first round, I kind of really wanted to pick. I was thinking about getting a Mega because I know that some people were not going to pick a Mega. They were going to go with an OU Mon or something like that. So I figured hopefully there's a really good Mega left at the end of that round right there, and I'll be able to pick it with that 16th pick. And so Mega Charizard was still available, and he was definitely one of the Megas that I wanted to use because it it can do whatever the heck it wants to do because it's a Mega Charizard X. So I decided to draft that bad boy.
Yeah, it's one of the better megas in the format.
Yeah, definitely. And then with that going into the second round, one of the issues that I had last season was my team was not that fast. It had good attackers and decent bulk, but my highest based attacker was my Staraptor with 100 base speed. So I wanted to make sure that this time I actually got a good speedy sweeper that can put in power. And so Eric drafted Mega Altaria first round, and so I wanted to be able to have something that could hit that thing pretty good because Eric's in our division and all, so you got to make sure you can handle your division opponents. So I decided to draft Gengar in the second round because Gengar is just power. It's got the 110 base speed, 130 special attack. It can hit like a truck, and it has good coverage moves. So I wanted to be able to do a good speedy attacker. So I got Gengar. And then, cool. Yeah.
A timid max speed Gengar outspeeds Mega Altaria. That's +1 speed.
Oh.
And max speed.
Good to know. Alright.
Just gonna slide that information in there.
Alright, that's good to know. I'll definitely put that in I'll put that in the Mega the banks back there. Yeah,
except for the fact that some people run Facade Flame Orb Altaria. Like, why?
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I don't get it. I'm like, what?
Alright,
I saw that one time on Battlespot, and I was just like, why? Like, why? It doesn't make any sense. It completely kills the purpose of Mega Altaria, which is just to take hits and deal damage.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
Anyways, moving on. That was
All
off
right.
topic.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways,
Scizor.
so Scizor, yeah, our third round, I was able to draft Scizor because I had Mega Charizard and I had Gengar. So I had, Charizard can be bulky or speedy, depending on how you want to build it. It's usually physical, but it has the exact same special attack as it does physical attack. So, maybe you might see a special Megazard X somewhere in one of these battles one of these days. And then we have our speedy special Gengar. So I wanted something that had good physical attack and actually decent bulk. And so Scizor, which was a Mon that I had last season, put in the finest of work for us last season. So I wanted to be able to get a Mon that's good, that has decent bulk, good physical attack, or good some kind of attack, and it also gets defog, which is critical because I have a Charizard Mega. So, it's got that 4 times of weak to rock before it Mega evolves. So we want to make sure that you have ways of reliable of getting away rocks. Because, Rapid Spin can be blocked with a Ghost type, but defog, the only way you're really going to deter a defog is if you have a Defiant or a competitive user on the opponent's team. Otherwise, defog's going to go off. So that's why I wanted to get Scizor on there. And let's see, our 4th round pick. Oh, right, our 4th round pick.
So walk us through your thought process. I'm just going Mons 3x3. Just Umbreon, Rotom Wash, and Espeon.
Mm-hmm.
So why'd you draft both of the 2nd gen evolutions and Rotom Wash? What was your thought process through that?
So Umbreon, like I said, I have 3 basically attackers right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed a wall. So Umbreon is an amazing wall,
Really
and of course it is my mascot. So I love Umbreon, and I wasn't able to draft it last season when I wanted to. So this season I saw it was still available at that point, and you know what? I needed a good wall. It's only weak to fighting and fairy, and so I have coverage for both that. I can resist. I have immunity to fighting, and I have resistances to fairy. So it's good wall. I got good coverages to that, so I wanted to go with Umbreon there because it can definitely tank some hits if I needed to. And then I went with Rotom Wash because I needed a good special electric attacker, and Jolteon and Raikou were already taken. So I went with Rotom Wash because if you look at Tripp's team, at this point, at the 5th round, he's got Mega Charizard Y, Hydreigon, Keldeo, and Alomola. So he has a nice and powerful electric weakness there. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to get a good electric Mon that can hit that. And so Rotom Wash is good. It fits right on our team, and it also gives you good water coverage with that good Hydro Pump attack. So that's why I went with Rotom Wash. And then, and it has a Levitate, so it's got the immunity to ground. So I've got 2 Pokemon already immune to ground, and then Charizard is immune to ground for 1 turn when I take it in. So it's pretty good. And then, of course, Rotom Wash is versatile. It can be Choice Scarf, it can be Choice Specs, it can be bulky, it can be, different things. So that's what's nice about Rotom. And then Espeon, because I just picked, 3 kind of bulky, slow, 3 decently bulky and slow Mons with Scizor, Umbreon, and Rotom. So I wanted to get another speedy attacker in there. So Espeon was good in there. I wanted a good Psychic-type Pokemon. So Azelf, Alakazam, and Espeon were my 3 Psychic Mons that I wanted. So Azelf and Alakazam were taken in the same round that I drafted Espeon right before me. So Espeon was the logical choice next. So I wanted to go with Espeon to get a powerful Psychic types, and it has decent coverage as well.
And just out of curiosity, are you planning on running Light Clay Espeon?
That's definitely a possibility that I can run in there. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention with Espeon is, like I said, Charizard is my Mega, so I want to make sure that it can get in there safely, and so rocks are very detrimental to Charizard. With Espeon on my team, it's got that Magic Bounce ability, so it's going to definitely deter.
Magic Bounce for
it's definitely going to be deterring the Will-O-Wisps for the Scizor, or Stealth Rocks for the Charizard. So that's what's good about that.
I was just thinking, he could lead with that, and if someone wants to get a Rocks, then it's Magic Bounce.
Yeah, nope, not happening. Not happening.
Light Clay Magic Bounce, dude.
Well, that's pretty good. That's not bad.
If you can work it. If we can work it.
Alright,
so next you had Deontay, Thundurus Incarnate, and Swampert.
I wish I had Thundurus. I got Tornadus.
Tornadus, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Diancie, I picked Diancie because, again, I had him last season, and Diancie put in the finest of work as a nice tank. I ran both physical and special wall, because either way, it doesn't matter. If I run a full physical wall, it's going to take a super effective special hit regardless, just because of how fat it is. It's got the 150 defense and special defense. So I wanted to run Diancie, because at this point, I actually don't have anyone to set up rocks. So I needed a good Pokemon that can take hits and be able to set up rocks. So Diancie was there. It did amazing last season for me. So I wanted to have it back, and I know some other people were wanting it too. So I figured that it wasn't going to last much longer. So I wanted to make sure that I locked them up so it can be on my team to be able to do what I wanted it to do. And then Tornadus. Tornadus, because I needed a flying type, because you have Machamp on Eric's side, which puts in work. You have Tangrowth and Venusaur on Trip's side, and you have Mega Pinsir and Roserade on Rizzy's side. So those are all Mon that can do work to my team. So I needed a good flying type Pokemon to be able to handle those. And I originally wanted Staraptor, and as people have probably already know on my channel and in the chat, everybody knows that I will not forgive Dan for talking to Poise earlier in the round, and Poise was originally going to draft Hawlucha, and I would have drafted Staraptor that round, but Poise, thanks to the amazingness from Dan, decided to draft Staraptor based on his advice. So I lost Staraptor, which is a Pokemon that I had last season, which was, I believe, number 3 in the overall for the MVP race. So Staraptor put in amazing work for me last season, so I really wanted him, but unfortunately that didn't happen, so Thundurus, and all the forms of Thundurus were gone, and Landorus, of course. So Tornadus I was available, so I figured, you know what, alright, we'll go with that. It has good special attack, and it can be a physical attacker as well. And it's got that Prankster ability, which is nice, so I can get that Prankster taunt off if I want. And it's also got Tailwind. It's the only one of the genies that gets Tailwind, so I can get Prankster Tailwind off if I want to. If, say, it's going to die, so I'm going to go do a Prankster Tailwind off, let it die, then send in another Mon to sweep up. So that's kind of good. And I also have some other things that Tornadus can get that I plan on using on certain people that I will not say, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
And I'm just going to guess. Was Swampert for water and ground coverage?
Well, I already had the water coverage. I needed ground coverage. So that was more what the lines of Swampert was. Swampert is one of those bulky attackers. Mm-hmm. So I figured I want to get him because Swampert can also put up rocks. So now I have 2 Pokemon that can put up rocks with Diancie and Swampert. And it's always good to have multiple Pokemon that can do one thing, so that way your opponent can't just predict and be like, oh, he's bringing Diancie. Okay, Diancie's going to be setting up rocks. Mm-hmm. Right? But now, so if I bring Diancie and Swampert, I've run different Diancies last season, so it wasn't just Stealth Rock. I actually have run offensive Diancie, and I've run Screens Diancie, and all that stuff. So now if I bring Diancie and Swampert, you don't know which one of them is going to be my rocker or whatnot. I could be running a full offensive Swampert or anything like that, because it works as well.
Run light type Diancie. I dare you.
I did. I did last season. I did.
You're real.
It worked.
You're real.
It worked.
You're real.
It worked. And then, yeah, like I said, so Swampert can put in work. It's only got the one weakness of Grass. And Grass is the highest amount of weaknesses I have. It's 3. No other typing is super effective on more than 2 Pokemon on my team. But I have a decent amount of Pokemon that resisted in Scizor, resisting it 4 times. Charizard resisting it 4 times. Gengar resisting it. Tornadus resisting it. So Grass isn't really too much of a concern in my point. Mm-hmm. And then now we have the last 2 rounds. Yep.
Spinner.
Spinner, yeah. I may use it as a spinner at one point. Depends on how I'm going to do it. But I mainly wanted Hitmonlee for that stab fighting type. And Hitmonlee is powered. It's got a good attack of 120 or 125. And then it's got decent speed, but it's of course got the unburdened ability. So its speed gets doubled and can pretty much outspeed anything that it wants to. Yeah. Hit the normal gem fake out, the most common thing. So if you want to be able to reliably get your unburden off, you can run that. There's also some other sets that I plan on running with Hitmonlee, and I don't want to reveal any of that because they're going to be a surprise. So Hitmonlee is going to definitely put in. I'm hoping it's definitely going to put in some work for us.
Mm-hmm. And then Porygon 2, I'm just guessing another wall.
Yeah.
Another just straight up wall.
Straight up wall. It's pretty much because I have no idea how it lasted until the last round. And
Yeah,
so,
I'm like, Porygon 2 is one of the best mons in the tier. Like, honestly, I think it's in the top 20 of the tier. I'm not sure exactly where. Maybe even in the top 10. But I'd really have to, like, delve in and actually, like, put mons.
yeah, I can understand why Porygon 2 kind of dropped below OU and then back into UU, simply because everybody and their mothers runs knockoff now. So, you know, you can easily get the Eviolite off. But in League, it's better because not everyone is going to have a bunch of mons that have knockoff, since, you know, the Pokemon are all distributed. So only specific mons on the opponent's
Not
team can
everyone
have the
can
knockoff. Yeah,
and Chow.
exactly. So Porygon 2 can definitely hold on to that Eviolite a little bit longer than I wanted. It actually, you know, it has 105 base special attack, so it can hit back, and especially if you got that download ability and it's able to get that +1 on special attack, it's going to be hitting hard while being able to take pretty much any hits from the opponent. So Porygon 2 can definitely put in some work that I plan on having it do.
All right. Now, I only have one question for you because I read Tornadus is Thunderous. So, maybe. But I do want to ask you, if you could take any mon from anyone's team and place it on not yours, but another person's team to either hinder them or help them, what would you do and why?
Interesting. That's a good question. Huh. I mean, I could obviously take Ditto away from Trip and hinder someone else, because I don't know why he drafted Ditto. But let's see. You know what? Let me see here. Where's there we are. Let's see. I would take away Hippowdon from Slacks and put it on anyone else's team, because obviously Slacks needs that Hippowdon for his Sand team. So without it, he's gonna have to use Sandstorm move in order to activate all of his Sand Pokemon's abilities. So that's definitely what I think I would do.
You're actually the first person to say that, and I was thinking a lot more people would say that, but then again, this is the 4th interview I've recorded of 16 interviews, hashtag breaking the 4th wall again. So, I mean, like, I was expecting, like, everyone to say that, but you're the first person to actually say that.
Yeah, you know, maybe, I'm sure other people will probably say it as you go down the line.
Yeah.
Sorry, Slacks. But that's what you get for tagging me in the Pokemon rap, okay?
Alright, well, that about wraps it up. So, if you guys enjoyed this interview and you guys are excited for the MPL to start, please hit that like button down below. It really helps us out. And we will see you guys in week 1.
See you later.
Bye.